Hey, someone asked a question. Are there any vegetables we should not eat raw but steamed? And I thought this was an interesting question because obviously I promote a high raw vegan diet. I don't eat 100% raw, and I think for sustainability for most people, high raw is a healthy medium. But some people thrive off of 100% raw, and I think that's great. Some people thrive eating less than high raw, which is fine, but we still need to be having fresh fruits and vegetables. And so I know that there are, like most mushrooms, with the exception of one kind, we definitely should not be eating raw because it's toxic to the body. And that's from Dr. Greger's research. Besides that, I personally don't feel comfortable eating certain things raw just because of sensitivities and concerns around my digestion. But in general, if folks aren't having issues, is there anything that they should be concerned about? So I look through the literature, and I have all my citations and references in the description below in this video. But here's what the literature has to show. There are basically no vegetables that require steaming for safety reasons, because all commonly consumed raw vegetables, they pose no toxicity risk when eaten uncooked. Vegetables commonly consumed raw, they pose no safety risks. None of the studies report a need to steam any vegetables solely to avoid toxicity. In one study, boiling and steaming reduce soluble oxalates by 5 to 53%, which is a consideration for individuals prone to kidney stones. Yet, no acute toxicity was linked to raw consumption. This also reminds me, we recently had a conversation in the Memory Rescue Mastermind sessions in my Brain Health Breakthrough coaching program around thyroid health and thyroid hormones. And if your thyroid hormones are out of whack, then eating goitrogen foods in high quantities raw may cause some issues. I don't recommend eating these foods in low quantities because these are cancer fighting foods. They are metabolically optimizing foods, right? Especially if you're on a fat loss journey, these are the foods you want to eat. And just steaming them or having them fermented is fine. You avoid any issues with goitrogens. There are vegetables that display compound-specific nutritional differences between raw and steamed forms, which you probably know already. Dr. Greger talks about this type of stuff a lot. Like, for example, raw broccoli yields approximately 3 times higher urinary isothiocyanate. It's hard to pronounce this word. I'll have it on the screen. Urinary isothiocyanate levels with sulforaphane and acetylcysteine 73% lower in steamed broccoli. Yet brief steaming, 1 to 3 minutes, increased sulforaphane yield by reducing inactive nitrile formation. In watercress, steaming raised glucosinolate by 16% while maintaining its levels of phenolics, carotenoids, and antioxidant activity. Now, in contrast to that, steaming kale resulted in a 65% drop in antioxidant potential and an 87.5% decrease in polyphenol content. Other vegetables like pumpkin, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, they showed increases in antioxidant potential or polyphenols with steaming, though effects varied by compound and cultivar. So these findings, they indicate that while all reviewed vegetables are safe to eat raw, the optimal preparation method depends on the specific nutrient or anti-nutrient profile that's desired. So it's not going to be a huge issue. One of the things we've been discussing in the group, or just in my house actually, not really in the group so much, but in my home, is making raw vegan cookies using pumpkin, right? Because I've been going to Trader Joe's and seeing pumpkin cookies, and we're in the season of root vegetables and pumpkins and stuff like this. And I was like, I wonder if. But when it comes to root vegetables like this, like these pumpkins and things, I never eat them raw. One person mentioned concerned about starch. I'm not necessarily concerned about starch. Maybe I should be. I'm not sure. That will be further research maybe I should look into if we should be eating starchy vegetables raw. But I feel like it would be easier to work with the pumpkin even cooked. It's hard to cut pumpkin when it's not cooked. And that just intuitively tells me that consuming that raw, our bodies weren't meant to do that, right? Because if it's so hard to get into when it's not cooked, this is not something you should eat not cooked, right? I just intuitively feel that way. And I find that with raw foods, for me, a lot of it is intuitive. One of the things that I love to impress upon and build within my clientele is interoceptive awareness. And that is really tuning into how your body is feeling at any given moment. And also picking up on the cues of how your body's feeling when you eat certain foods, right? Really tapping in to how, this raw kale salad is making you feel. This raw vegan burger, how does that make you feel? When you eat hydrated foods versus dehydrated foods, how do you feel? What's going on in your body? There are external things that we can look at and track to see progress, but I also want to get people really in tune and tapping in. Once you have that interoceptive awareness and it's dialed up, you can actually monitor and manage yourself, right? You really don't need coaching. You don't need influences around you or support around you, because your body will maintain itself. Your habits will maintain itself, right? Because you pick up the wrong thing, you consume it, and your body tells you right away, not a good idea, right? Headaches come back, migraines come back, joint pain comes back, excess fat comes back, whatever it is. You're feeling these things. You're feeling if something is good for you and if something's bad for you. And I feel like our ancestors, they had a knowing, right? They had an intuitive knowing. And we've been very disconnected from that because we've been disconnected from the soil and from our food. Everything is coming out of a factory. And that's what most people are eating, because we're living in this system that is keeping us so busy with work and overwork that we are struggling to find the time to cater to ourselves, to get our hands in the kale and massage it, and to get our hands on a banana and cut it up and make some different dishes besides a smoothie, right? There's a lot of different things. Like I'm working on a recipe book right now, and it calls for a breakfast cereal. How do we do a breakfast cereal raw? That involves some prep, right? You have to cut up some things, you have to wash, right? And that's what it is with raw foods. It's like, I know when folks start a healing journey, right, and something is going on, they're having a health crisis, and they feel the urgency of it all. And the food prep situation, right? They have that realization, okay, I need to eat clean, and it involves food prep. I have to learn how to do it, which is a lot. I have to build out the time to do it, which feels like a huge adjustment, right? Because we're used to being ambitious and driving and working all the time and going for, the kitchen feels like just a last, we don't even want to, But if we looked at the kitchen time and meal prep time as our personal self-care time, right? We're making a healthy meal to serve and nourish ourselves, and taking a break from the world and responsibilities in a healthy way, right? There are ways that folks are taking a break from reality. They're scrolling social media, they're watching lots of TV. And I'm not against these things. I've done these things. But if you're doing more of those things than spending time in the kitchen making healthy meals, you might be noticing the results of that and how you feel. And so I want to offer up an alternative to that. If you are ready to eat healthier, eat more raw foods, think clearer, and feel lighter, feel better, have more comfort in your body, and actually just have a healthier body, right? If you've gone to the doctor and you're not getting such great reports and you want to clean that up, then I highly encourage you to join the Brain Health Breakthrough Coaching Program. And I'll have a link in the description to this video so that you can learn more about what this program is about to make sure it's right for you. But every week we get together in our Memory Rescue Mastermind sessions and connect on how things are going. We have raw food demos, we learn and we touch base and we have a good time. We also offer one-on-one coaching in the program so that you can get your individual needs met. So you have the group supportive environment and then also one-on-one attention. And with that, I wish you the best of luck.